Hey guys, I'm in the car right now. I'm heading over to Ed and Lorraine Warren's gravesite. I want you guys to see it. I'm going to bring you over there. Right now I'm pulling out of their driveway onto the street, and their gravesite is only about not even half a mile down the road. And Lorraine's buried there, Ed's buried there, and their grandson Corey is buried there too. And apparently that's where Judy and I are going to get buried too. So I'm on the road. It's only going to take a few seconds to get there. Dangerous intersection here, trying to pull out. There's always a car coming. But here I go. I'm not in my Corvette because I don't have one. I'm in a Honda CR-V. But like you guys know, I also have a 39 Chevy Coupe that I'm building, which will have a lot of power in it. And I also have a 33 Chevy that was Ed and Lorraine's, that was willed to Judy and me. That's totally restored. That's a 6-cylinder, back to stock. You know, it's just totally stock. It's not a modified car. Here we are pulling onto the side street to go towards the cemetery. And here we are. We're going to be pulling into the gates. Here we are pulling in now of the cemetery. And you're going to get a first-hand look of their gravesite. Okay, onto the gravesite. Here we are coming upon the gravesite here, and you'll see flowers here. You'll see Corey's engraving of Corey, the grandson, who was 20 years old. Okay, I'm going to bring you over to the actual tombstone, or the monument, I guess you'd call it. Here it is. This is the monument of Ed and Lorraine. As you can see, it's pretty nice. It's black granite that Lorraine had picked out, and I want to show you some things on the gravesite itself. The W for Warren, of course. There's a lot of little artifacts people have left, but here you see Ed's name, Edward Warren Miney, born September 7th, 1927, died August 23rd, 2006. His beloved wife, Lorraine Rita Moran, born January 31st, 1927, died April 18th, 2019. And if you look down here, of course it says Warren, but you see that insignia says Sunday, Monday, always. That was Ed and Lorraine's favorite song by Bing Crosby back in the day. During the war, that was their song. And you see these little animal figurines and stuff that they left here. But underneath even that, you'll see some daisies engraved. And I'm not going to pull everything away, but it says, their hearts were full of spring. Their hearts were full of spring. Now that, and there's daisies, because daisies was Lorraine's favorite flower. But that's a song also. Their hearts were full of spring. I want you guys to look up those songs. You'll see how it was back in the day. I'm going to change this over to this. How different the songs were. Sunday, Monday, always, by Bing Crosby. And Their Hearts Were Full of Spring was done by many people, including my favorite group, the Beach Boys. And why theirs to me is the best was because it's a cappella. You can look it up on YouTube. Just punch in Their Hearts Were Full of Spring, Beach Boys. Also done by Jimmy Rogers, singer from the 50s. He sang a lot of good songs. And also done by the Four Freshmen. And that's where Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys got his idea to do it from. But they did it with music, Brian Wilson, and the Beach Boys did it without music, just 5-part harmony. Over here is the St. Michael the Archangel prayer. And there's an engraved image of St. Michael with his foot on the devil, if you can see it there. And the St. Michael the Archangel prayer is also engraved. And it says, Defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the divine power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who roam throughout the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Down here, it says New England Society for Psychic Research, founded in 1952 by Ed and Lorraine Warren. That's what it says. And there's some of the flowers that people left. Over here is the marker that the United States Navy put down for Ed. Edward Warren Miney, S2, U.S. Navy, World War II. Then his birth date of September 7th, 26 to August 23rd, 2006. And people leave money, they leave stones, they leave crystals. They've also left little birds for Lorraine, little bluebirds and cardinals. I don't know if I can find one here, but there's little artifacts and little things that they leave behind here. People have left at the gravesite. It's quite a nice tribute to them. Of course, my wife and I leave flowers too all the time. But the story of Ed and Lorraine goes way back to when they were 16 years old. You know, they met at a movie theater in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Colonial. Ed was a usher there, and Lorraine had gone with two friends. Now, she was 16 at the time. She went with two friends to the movie theater, and one of the friends says, "Oh, we got a boy we'd like you to meet, Lorraine." And Lorraine wasn't into boys. She was more into homework, schoolwork, going to church. She said, "I'll meet him, but, I'm not going to be interested." And then she met him, and she was instantly attracted to Ed. She said he was dressed so meticulously, creased pants, hair perfect, and then she said he smelled like Noxzema. And why did he smell like Noxzema, that cream you put on your body? Because he was a lifeguard also in the daytime, and he used to put on the Noxzema to help the sunburn that he got. So Lorraine met him then back in, I guess it was about 42. On Ed's 17th birthday, he went and joined the Navy. And when he was overseas, he used to write Lorraine letters all the time. The song, like I said, was Sunday, Monday, and Always by Bing Crosby. Find that on YouTube. It's a cute little song. And Their Hearts Were Full of Spring. But he used to write her letters. And even back at 17 years old, Ed was pretty romantic, because he used to write letters to her from overseas, and he'd say things like, "Lorraine, my dear, even though we're thousands and thousands of miles away from each other, we have one thing in common. When we look up at the sky, we see the same image of the moon. We see the same moon." So Ed always had that fascination with the moon, And so he one time said to me when we were coming back from a lecture late one night, about, say, 3 in the morning, and I had to drop them off and drive another 45 minutes to get home. He said, "Hey, I know you're tired, kid." He always called me kid. He said, "Here's what you do, especially if there's a moon out." I said, "Okay, I'm listening, Ed, what?" He said, "As long as there's a moon out, just park your car, take off your shoes, get out of the car, and go up and stare at the moon. Stand up, stare at the moon for about 4 or 5 minutes. You'll be totally re-energized." I started laughing at him. I said, "Ed, you got to be kidding me. You're joking, right? Take my shoes off?" He said, "No, just do what I told you. It'll work." He said, "I'm telling you the truth. It'll happen." I never tried it, to be honest with you. But that was Ed's fascination, too. He had a big fascination with the moon. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop the video now. You got a pretty good look at the gravesite. I'll scan over the graveyard a little bit, too, before I go. This is the graveyard. You got some old gravestones here from like the 1700s. Pretty peaceful place, And apparently Judy and I will be here too. And back there's a wall. So for now, that's a look at Ed and Lorraine's gravesite. Talk to you guys soon. Stay safe. We're leaving the graveyard. I'll take you guys back to their house. An old graveyard, 1765 maybe, 1770. lady's been seen here, the White Lady of Union Cemetery. The Union Cemetery is about 3.5 miles from here, up the road on Route 59. Take around a corner here. And also, there's a rectory and church right here next door with a traditional Catholic priest. But I'm going to take you guys back to their house, just so you can see what the street looks like. It's a nice little town, Monroe, Connecticut. It's nice. So you want to talk about a peaceful little town, this is it. Ed, you see that this place right here.
You are going the wrong way down the street.
I'm going the wrong way. Well, that's too bad. Now I'm going the right way. So, we turn here. That was the country pizza where Ed and Lorraine always used to eat all the time. Ed used to order a small cheese pizza. There's also another place in Monroe called Sal's Pizza that Ed went crazy for. He makes really good food, Sal, and so does Country Pizza. Country Pizza is owned by Greek people, and Sal's is owned by an Italian person, Sal. And he cooks everything to order. He makes escarole and bean soup, which is fantastic. Scatol and beans, they call it in Italian. Scatol, escarole. He makes beautiful pizzas. And so does Country Pizza, though. Country Pizza here on Route 25. So if you're ever in Monroe, Connecticut, go to Country Pizza and go to Sal's, which is from here, from Country Pizza, about 1.5 miles, not even. And a church that a graveyard, when I was pulling out, if you look to the right, there's a church. It's the Our Lady of the Rosary Church. Many exorcisms were done there with Ed Warren, Lorraine Warren, and Father Bishop McKenna, who the werewolf was exorcised there. In the case of the werewolf, the book The Werewolf, that's where he was exorcised, at that church, a little traditional Catholic church. Now we're heading back to Ed and Lorraine's location, which, of course, now Lord Judy and I own it. And at some point, I'm getting back the 33 Chevy that's in the shop right now to get some tweaks done, some more tune-ups done, a new fuel pump, a gas tank. And when I do get that car back, I'm going to take pictures of it, a video, and show it to you guys. And then I'll actually take a ride in it. You guys can see what it's like to be in a 1933 Chevy sedan. You know, we're pulling onto their street. And they're at the end, they're at the dead-end street. This is it, we're heading up to the house. And I'm going to pull in the driveway, then I'm going to pull in the back, too. So you can see the museum, how it looks. There's the house over here. Show you when I pull in. See the sign here? Nobody listens to it. Cops got to come all the time and get people for trespassing. There's trespassing tickets. There's the front of the house. Pull on the driveway here. Grass needs trimming again. Over here's the museum. Right here. Watch. Right here. There's the museum right there. Something's blocking that. It's part of, I don't know what that is. It's right here blocking my view. Oh, it's part of the one of the gutters. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Occult Museum. It used to be an art studio, 1950s. And they converted it into the museum after it got so many artifacts they didn't know what to do with. So I'm just going to drive around one more time and then end the video there. We saw somebody on the Arlo security cameras that I have throughout the property. When we were home, we saw a kid taking pictures. By the time the cops got there, he was gone. He was taking a video of his iPhone, probably for YouTube. You know, I have all kinds of signs that say no trespassing here. All kinds. Nobody ever listens. They have the audacity to come up to the front door and start banging on the door, looking in the windows. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. So for now, I'm Tony Spera. your moderator, Tony Sparrow. And I hope you guys have a pleasant weekend, a pleasant day. I'm going to make more videos. I think I'll make one at the Union Cemetery where the white lady's been spotted. I'll tell you the whole story there too. That's only up the road from here, but I'll do that at another time. I'm not feeling that great today. I had stomach cramps and diarrhea. I know it's TMI, but I had it last night. Today I have it also, but it's kind of subsiding since I took anti-diarrhea medicine. But for now, guys, hey, I appreciate the watches and the views and the comments. You guys are really awesome, man. You really are. I mean, I know there's a lot of crazy people out there, but you guys are crazy good. You're so good, especially your comments. And you're very responsible sounding people, so I love it. Till then, Tony Sparrow, see you guys. Bye-bye.